next question is, we're living in 2020. This is a historic year. Historic year for the world, historic year for America, historic year for us. This is something that our grandkids will read in their history books,
Yes.
So because we were in a pandemic, we are still in a pandemic, and we were in quarantine, we got to spend a lot of time together with our families, not together, but isolated with our families, with our kids, with new experiences. So what have you learned, or what have you discovered about your children, your teenagers, that surprised you the most, or that has been, pleasant or joyful, or what have you discovered about your teenagers since the lockdown?
For me, definitely, it's how adjustable they are, how they were able to resilient. Yeah, that's a great word. They're very resilient, and I feel that if they know that they're living in a safe place and they're loved and they are taken care, nothing can truly affect them that much. I see other kids sometimes being really living in fear about the COVID, and I do understand that. I mean, we lost so many people.
But what have you, because you've spent so much time with your children, have you discovered something that you didn't know before? Something that wasn't part of the routine because they were in school, you were at work? Have you discovered something about your child where you went, oh wow, I didn't know Angelina was like this, or Zura, oh wow, like this is awesome, or this is interesting.
Now that you are bringing up this point, I had a business dinner. It was like a middle dinner, in the middle of the day, and she had to come with me, and she was so professional, so mature. I asked her, like, this is not a casual dinner, just if you can sit
keep it
there
together
and keep it together without giving her too much. As it's a business. And she was amazing. She was actually, people were more interested in talking to her than my client was more interested in her than me. And I was like, oh my God. It's, she's growing, and she's...
she got this.
That is something we overlook because we don't, we go to work, we come home, go to work.
Yes, we never
see that milestone in their element.
And she was composed, she knew how to eat properly, and I was like, oh my God, I can take
They're
her
very capable.
Anywhere. They're very capable, very capable.
How and capable also, they are.
Also, sometimes during the pandemic, I had to leave them at home for a couple of hours or an hour just to run little things, and everything was perfect.
They're independent.
They
don't need to be looked after, from second to second.
That much. So I learned that my kids are more responsible than what I thought. They're great kids.
And they're safe.
That's another
They're safe not only because they're in your house and you lock them up and you have the cameras. They're safe because they're safe in their minds.
In their mind, that's right.
They feel safety and security that came from you, from their surrounding. And I think subconsciously they feel that, and consciously they live that. And I think that's probably what I see in our kids during this 2020. That's because some of them have an even hard time coming close, not to mention to be alone and do everything and be around many people. And our kids, they have the safety in their subconscious and in their lives. And I think this is what we're realizing now, that how lucky we are. We were on the right path, not stressing the small things. Oh my God, I have a flat tire. Oh, bummer. We're not losing it completely. We're keeping it together, but that shows and reflects on our kids You know, they absorb that safety and security in us, and now they're living in this themselves. And I think this pandemic, it exposes everybody to who they really are. So if you are fearful because you are naturally fearful of being late to school, forgetting your homework, the war in Armenia, whatever, you know, so many factors, you're fearful, then the fear will be very strong, you know. So living through these times will be very challenging. And that will definitely reflect in the kids. Some kids, you know, are still very, like, they go and wash their hands 10 billion times, you know.
That's right.
And I think the fact that your kids are showing you that they are, you know, they're safe and secure and they're happy and they're joyful no matter what, you know, it's a reflection of you.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's awesome.
Definitely. I mean, I have to agree with everything you're saying. I think the biggest thing that surprised me, though, is the amount of time my kids want to spend with me. They genuinely want to hang out with me. I mean, I know they miss their experience of like going to school and their friends and, you know, playing basketball and soccer, etc. But the fact that they still want to hang out with me, play board games, watch TV, go places, they're perfectly content running with me on my errands. That was a complete surprise, because before the pandemic, I had structured my day like most of us, like modern day moms. We structure our days around our kids. You know, when is school, when are the activities, when, you know, are play dates, when are they, you know, have to be somewhere, do something. And then whatever that schedule is, I'll plug my stuff in between, right? Along with going to work and coming back, right? But with the pandemic, there were no activities, there were no play dates, there was no school, there was nothing. And that was quite a discovery for me, that I did not have to plan my day around my children, and they were just as happy with me. Like that was probably the biggest experience. And the fact that my kids are, I mean, they're independent, but I think I also was very surprised at how determined they are. Whatever it was they wanted to do that day, there was nothing that could stop them. And
That's awesome.
I don't think I had the opportunity to see that before the pandemic. So
Because of the schedule. But I just want to add something what I noticed during this pandemic about my kids, how relaxed they were.
Yeah.
Because of the schedule that we were running for them, we were running for them. It's not their idea to go to school 8 to 3 and activity 5 to 6 and then homework 7 to 8. We were running a very tough schedule for ourselves and for them.
For them.
I see my kids relaxed. That's if I want to put one word to this 2020 situation from March to now. They are relaxed. They're not tired. They are easygoing. They're enjoying the mowing. They're going down the stairs. Everything's so like a kind of slow motion, and everything's slowed down for them. Because what is it, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock activity? Anything is good. At any time is good, because there's no rush anymore.
Right.
There's no schedule anymore. And I think nobody needs any of the stuff. You know, I think there should be no like strict schedule. You know, or maybe a schedule that allows you to slow down. So if you have an activity, it's not daily 5 to 7. It's maybe weekly, once a week. You know, why does it?
So you've discovered that lessening the load for them was
removing
a
the
big,
load, yeah.
or removing the load altogether has been a significant impact.
I think, yeah.